Okay, I would like to show a game against a bot in an app. The bot is called Douglas Vepius, is rated 1300, and it's in this Chess Kingdom by chess.com. Okay, so this is white and black. And this is just to show you the thinking process, how to beat a bot of that level. Why? Because many people don't know how to do it. And some of these bots are good because they have an opening repertoire, but some of them don't and make silly moves. Okay? At the moment we are playing what is called the Queen's Indian defense. Obviously he pinned my knight, so I unpin it. And d5 seems a little too... I mean, generally you would like to develop the other bishop, right? I don't know why I played this d5. In any case, the goal of the opening is to develop all your pieces and to castle, to connect the rooks. So that's what we need to do here, okay? I castle. And this is good. He has gained a good space in the center. How do I answer to that? Obviously I do have to open the lines, I have to attack a little, otherwise I'm kind of stuck here. So his king is still in the center. That's generally not a good thing. But how do I actually take advantage of it? Because that's the important thing, right? So it's my turn. I need to start to think. This is still the opening in a sense, but I'm under attack because my opponent has control of the center here. This is to be expected because the Indians opening generally aim at giving the center to the opponent and then start to dismantle it and attack it from far. And that's a good thing. But however, it's not developing badly, okay? So maybe the first thing I need to do is to attack his bishop. And that could be one thing with h6, right? But let's start with the thinking process. The thinking process is the following. 1. Can I give check? I don't see a way to give check. 2. Can I take an opponent piece? Yes, in this case I can. I can take this, I can take this, I can take this. So I can do something, right? And this is not a bad thing. You see, already at this move, I have some options. If I take this, and he takes with the knight, I can take this. He takes, I take back. But then I have a problem. What is the problem? That he plays knight take c7. So, as you can see, you need to calculate. But this was a good idea. Now, this is possible, is bad, good. Well, let's see again this, just for a second. Tack, he takes back. I take with the bishop. Or I take this with the bishop, he takes back. I take this with the bishop, so I don't have a problem of c7. Unfortunately, he takes with the queen, attacking my rook and defending his knight. At that point, I play c6 to attack his queen. and this queen must move again, maybe on f5. At that point I don't see how to actually gain advantage. So as you can see, you need also to visualize a kind of far, right? So let's see it again. Take, take. Bishop takes g5, knight takes g5. What if I play c6? He has to move the knight and they can attack the other. But he could play queen h5, and that's a reality. Queen h5, what is the problem? That I have to answer with h6. h6, when he goes back to knight f3, I don't think I have made a good deal. So let's see again. Now I will just calculate in my head. Yes, this could work. I think this could work. Let's try. Now he played this. This is not a good move. So let's see what I calculated so you can understand what was going on. It was this. Okay. At this point I played this, right? Because I want to take back. And I calculated this. And then I couldn't take immediately this, so I need to take this, otherwise c7 goes down. But at that point he could play something like this. I play this, this, and I go back. Okay, at this point I have gained at least a pawn from all these exchanges. That's why I played that move, but he made it even more simple for me. So the position, I think it was this, and I played this. Why I made it simple for me? Because it took here. At this point I just take back, and I have gained one pawn. Now he finally understands that he needs to develop the pieces. I'm sorry that it takes a long time, but as you can see, in chess you need to think, you need to calculate. Now this move is very dangerous, very, very dangerous, because as you can see I don't have a protection of this pawn anymore. So I need to do something, but let's continue with the thinking process, okay? So can I give check? No. Can I take something of my opponent? Yes, I can take this, but then it will be taken back and I have lost a bishop. Can I attack something? I could play d5 and attack the pawn on e4, but that would give an advantage to white, because it opens the diagonal, and then he will play something like this, just to show you what's gonna happen. No? Let's say I play this. Boom. And then when I take, he can take back here, or he can even do it better, probably. He can take it right away back here. If he takes here, he maybe can attack. And generally bishop takes here is an attack. I don't know. As you can see, also in this case, you need to calculate, okay? And let's go back to the position. So again, the thinking process is what works here. Can I attack something? Yes or no? And how you answer, it gives you. And not only, we are still in the opening, because I have this that is not developed, the rooks are not connected, so I need to do something, right? So I think this move, at the moment, it seems to work. he castled. Now I can do a couple of things, obviously. I can continue the development, but this may be not defended enough time if I put the knight here. I could try to take the center. Again, let's work on the thinking process once more. Can I give check? No. Can I take something? Yes, I can play this. Now, would it be convenient for me at that move? I don't know. I don't want to take away the central tension without getting out something of it, okay? So I will not take. Can I attack something? I could play this, but then I don't know if he plays this. This is unprotected, right? So I don't know if it works. Or I could try to have a pass pawn. So this is a good thing. What is a pass pawn? It's a pawn that needs to be stopped because it's going to be promoted. And after I can play this, and it's a supported pass pawn. So it's really strong, okay? Let's see. Let's try to have a supported pass pawn, because you see this is still blocking this. So for me it's good. And now I support the pawn, because so it cannot really do anything. Now white has this outpost that is kind of strong, and he has kind of majority of pieces 1, 2, 3, 4 aiming at this side. I need to bring something there to protect my king, okay? Otherwise it will be a mess. So I would do this. Rook c1. What does rook c1 mean? That you want to attack the pawn, and once you leave it, this falls, and I don't want that to fall, okay? At the same time, this cannot really stay there, because I want this to go here to protect h7. But it's a kind of fake protection, because e5 is not control. So that's another problem, right? So let's start to protect. This is called a hyper protection of a point or a square, and it's important, okay? So I would do this to protect c5. Opla, sorry, I touched the wrong one. And as you can see, the computer immediately attacks something that is not protected. Immediately. They always do this. They want to show you that the protection is everything, right? Okay. So can I, let's continue with the thought process. Can I give check? No, I don't see that. Can I attack something? Yes, that I can do, right? I can attack this here and here, but then I will lose the knight, so not a good idea. Can I attack something else? I can play c4, but it's overprotected, so not a good idea. I can play c6, but then I lose this. Bishop c6, obviously. So, while I attack, I must also think of myself, okay? So attack, not really working. When I have exhausted these 3 questions, I ask myself, what did my opponent do with his last move? What is the idea behind? The idea behind, to me, seems to attack this. That's it. Because I move this rook. So I could protect it with knight here, okay? But then I must calculate what happens after bishop b5. Because if I don't calculate that, Not gonna work, right? So after bishop b5, I could play a6, and he could play bishop takes a6, rook a8, bishop takes b7, rook takes a4, bishop takes c6. Wow. So he got like 7 points for a queen. I don't know, maybe it seems good, so we could actually play that move. Okay. Knight d5. So as you can see, once you move a piece, other pieces and other possibilities become available. Immediately he took advantage of controlling this that was first controlled by this, but now he's here, so he's not doing it anymore. There is also another problem. That thing must go, because now we can play bishop b5, and if I play this a6, it can take... no, it doesn't take, it takes here. I take here, but then it can play something like this. It becomes a little more messy. So in my opinion, at this point, I need to try to ask an exchange of pieces. Oh, and the queen moved, which means he gave up the pressure that was building there, right? So it's my turn now. What do I do? Again the question, can I give check? No, I don't see a way to give check. Can I take something? Yeah, I could take this. Then it takes back, so I didn't do much, right? Okay. Can I take something else? Yes, I can take this. You can take with this or with this. Which one of the two would he do it? I think he would do it with a pawn, because that would dislodge my knight. At that point I can play knight b4, attacking this and this. He can play bishop b1, defending, and then at that point I take on d5, taking back. And that's not bad in my opinion, right? So we calculated what happens with e takes d5, but what happens if he takes with a queen? That's a different story. So I take, he takes, and knight b4, bishop b4, and I take d5. So taking d5 seems a good move. So he took with a pawn, I play this, he plays a3, not a good move. By the way, maybe I didn't calculate everything well, because maybe bishop e4 was protecting this. Maybe it was a good idea. e3 seems really bad. Why? Because I'm immediately going to exchange and take another pawn. Queen takes e3, and now I take with what I take. This is also the thing, you need to stop, pause, think, and say, what do I do now? Do I take with this or do I take with this? Which one of the two is more advantageous for me? For example, if I take with the queen, I am threatening a checkmate on g2, which means that if he plays queen g5, knight g5, let's say big mistake because he wants to give me checkmate, I give checkmate first. And so what does he do? He probably play rook e1 with the idea rook e5, right? At that point I can play piece, rook e8. He takes, I take, and then he goes back to his original idea before to try to attack my pawn chain. And I probably will exchange there, I don't know. So it doesn't seem that he has good things on that. Let's see, anything else? I think the centralization of a queen is a good idea at this point. I don't see anything. If I play this, taking with the bishop, it's kind of bad because this queen is still here. The queen is a very powerful piece, and obviously here it controls more squares than here, right? So maybe that's also what makes sense. Let's take. Like I said, rook e1. It was obvious, honestly it was obvious. This rook didn't do nothing in his life, or in her life, I don't know which, in its life, maybe. And so I think we needed to challenge the control of a e-file that white has. Why? Because we don't want him to play rook e5 and then it becomes a mess. Like I told you, there was a problem, and now it has a big problem, okay? It's trying probably to to bait me in doing something I don't want. But again, I don't care. I don't have really a big problem. So I don't know why I did that. Okay, let's return to the thinking process. The thinking process is, can I give check? Yeah, I can. Queen takes g2, knight takes g2. Oops, I have lost the queen. Not a good idea, right? Can I take something? I don't see. Yeah, I can take on e1. It takes back, and so I have lost the control of a file. No, I don't want to do that. Can I attack something? This is a different question, but it can be interesting, right? So, for example, if I play rook e4, I'm attacking this. So it takes, I take, it takes, I take. And I have 2 pawn advantage with a pawn that is advanced, and that's kind of a good thing, I think, right? Because it's over, the game is over. I just enter into an endgame that I need to win, but I don't see the big problem in converting that kind of endgame, okay? So this would be the move I would do, but after rook e4, we must think what happens if white plays queen g3. If he plays queen g3, I play rook takes h4. So let's watch it a little. I play rook e4. He plays queen g3 because he doesn't want to change, right? I play tak, I take. If he takes, checkmate. So as you can see, rook e4 seems to be the move, and it answers the 3 questions, which is, can I attack, can I give checkmate, can I give check, sorry, can I give check, can I attack, can I take something, you know, these 3 questions that you must consistently ask yourself. So let's do it, right? So rook e4, however, knight f5, for example, let's see what happens. Take, f3, check. Okay, perfect. So let's try. Rook e4, he plays knight f3. That's a good move, no doubt. But at this point, I can tell you another thing. I can probably exchange the rooks, but not right away, because I don't want to lose the control of the e-file. I want first to exchange all the pieces on the e-file eventually, and then whatever it needs to be done. So I would double up on here. b3. Again, as we can see, white doesn't have anything to actually attack me with. So let's go again. Can I give check? Yes. Rook takes e1. And if it takes with a knight, I take immediately again with a rook. So let's try to see. Tac, tac, tac. Why? Because queen g2 is the next move and it's checkmate. So that's important, right? So let's go on. Rook takes e1. Rook takes e1. Rook takes e1. Knight takes e1. Queen e4. Why queen e4? Because I'm trying to exchange all the pieces so that this pass pawn becomes a problem for white, a problem he must deal with, and he will not be able to deal with because my light square bishop is the one which will control the square in front of the pawn. Okay, so let's go on with that train of thought. Check. He takes back. I take. He takes. And I go here. He played king f1. King f1 doesn't seem a good move, but I need, this is the endgame at this point, so things change completely. At this point, what I need to do is the following. I need to bring the king into the game as soon as possible, which means 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I exchange, I pin, he goes there, and I start to move my king. Then he goes here to avoid, and then I take. And then he takes, and I start to centralize. So at this point the game is over, but it's still interesting, okay? So we saw that player, a bot rated 1300 can be quite interesting to beat because we have to act very carefully, okay? As you can see, like I told you, he wants one pin. At this point I exchange because I know that I will win the pawn endgame. Maybe you need to practice pawn endgames, obviously. Why do I win the pawn endgame? Because this is a pass pawn and the king must block it. And so my king is free to create damage all around the chessboard, okay? So let's see. We are at 28 minutes. Oh my god, it's huge, this file. As you can see, he makes g3. It doesn't matter what he does. I need to go with my king there. Look, he's trying to scare me in going here, but I don't care. I don't care a little bit. Again, he takes. I don't care. Look at this. This is becoming a problem. Oops! And this is over. Now I can continue to show you this, but it's just to make this file huge. But this is over, okay? At this point the game is over, so I will stop here, and obviously I will finish it there just for getting the next opponent that may be stronger.